All right, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 48 of Loyal to the Podcast with me, Ramo, and my lovely co-host, Jens. How you doing today, Jens? Welcome back.
Hi, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm big chilling. Well, I mean, kind of big chilling.
Oh,
Kind of big chilling. I am extremely stressed. Um,
why?
I have been dodging the internet for the past 3 days now.
Oh, yeah,
two to
yeah.
3 days now. Because I am on my quest to not get anything spoiled from Spider-Man Far From Home. By the time you guys listen to this podcast, both me and Jens, I think you have tickets for tomorrow, don't you?
I have tickets for Friday.
Oof. Okay. By the time you listen to this, I will have listened to it, and Jens will be momentarily
Getting there.
hours away from seeing it. I'm gonna speak for both of us here, Jens. We're both extremely excited.
Oh,
We're both
yeah.
we're both extremely excited. I know I am. Jens, I can safely assume you are. Most of the people around the world are all flat out excited for this movie. So I've been very cautious around the internet. I made a rule with myself, no social media. Other than like using, because I message you on Instagram direct messages more
Yeah.
often than not. Other than things like that. But I haven't been scrolling my feeds. I haven't been doing anything like that, just out of dread fear.
So you haven't
of getting
seen
anything spoiled,
anything, right?
Pretty much nothing. No.
You haven't seen
I have seen
anything
the
on
trailers.
TikTok?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Jens, I haven't been on any social media.
Okay.
Like, it's, yeah. And like,
It's
I'll find myself, like, muscle memory. I'll, like, just, when you're sitting there or laying in bed and, like, you just pull your phone out and I'll muscle memory go and open Instagram because it's, like, one of
yeah.
the first things I sort of do in the day, or TikTok or Reddit. I'll find myself opening it and then being like, "Oh, fuck, no." And then I close it real quick and just, like, either
Yeah.
open Netflix or, something, and go and just do something else to buy my time. Because, yeah, it is a hard habit to shake. I'll tell you that much.
Are you seeing it
It's not a
tonight?
simple habit. No, tomorrow
Okay.
night. So
You still have one more
technically it
day.
does come out. Technically, it does come out tonight at 12:01 a.m. And I know my cinema
Oh,
is
okay.
doing a midnight release. So yeah, we're getting into the real danger zone now. Like,
Yeah.
because people around me will have seen it. At the moment, it's really only people on the internet that have were lucky enough to either go to the premiere that was just held in Hollywood, or have seen like advanced screenings of it because they're reporters or reviewers or something like that. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot more dangerous tomorrow because the general public is gonna be able to finally see it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be a lot harder to control. So, yeah, I think I've
One more
already
day.
told my friends as well. We've got the 9:15 session, so like right at the end of the day, which I'm not too bad. Like I'm not mad about it. I don't mind. 9:15 is kind of cool because by the time you get out, it's like midnight and
Yeah.
nice and chill and quiet and stuff like that. But I've told my friends because we're gonna go to dinner beforehand, just grab something to eat before going to the thing. I think I'm gonna wear my over-ear noise canceling headphones the entire night, just in case there are people from the previous sessions that are walking around, like going to dinner or grabbing something to eat afterwards, that are talking about it.
Yeah, you're
And
taking
I don't want to
this
risk
so
it.
seriously.
I
love
am
it.
taking this is more serious to me than my HSC, I think, Jens, than my exams to go from after high school to university. This is more important to me than that, I feel.
Oh, I love the commitment.
It's yeah. I'm balls deep in it. I've waited this long for it. I'm not gonna let some
Yep.
16-year-old snotty-nosed teenager ruin it for me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not happening. It's just not happening. But yeah, enough about me, Jens. What have you been doing for the past couple of days?
I have been resting really because I have Achilles tendonitis in both my legs. So I haven't been able to go walking or to the gym.
Yeah.
And
That's
also
rough.
my arm's been like way more sore than it usually is. So I've just been being a little lazy potato.
Taking it easy.
Yeah, watching some Selling Sunset, which I have spoken about a little bit. I love it.
Yes.
It's good trash TV purely because it's about real estate. and like expensive
Mm.
real estate. Like we're talking
Look, we are
multi-million.
both we are both very accustomed to judging people's real estate decisions,
Yeah.
specifically their interior design
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
decisions. In our little friend group, we have one of our most favorite pastimes is just trolling like realestate.com and filtering by like the
Yeah.
most expensive houses in a specific area, and then absolutely tearing them to shreds by how they've decided to decorate their multi-million dollar house.
Not gonna
Um,
lie, none,
it's yeah.
almost none of these houses have I been able to criticize. All of these houses I will
Wow.
happily live in.
You'd happily take?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If
That's a
if
good
you were
sign,
going
mate.
to push it on to me, $1 million house,
Yeah.
look,
Yeah.
I'll take it. Okay.
Yeah. Look, I'll fight you for it for a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's too much. Okay, no, give it to me. I get
But
that.
yeah, like there's that side of it where you see the houses and who they
Yeah.
sell to. Sometimes it's celebrities. The one I just watched, they're selling a
Yeah.
house for Simu Liu right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
So he's on the show,
That's sick.
which is really cool. But then he's getting too close
Yeah.
to the girl and like they're flirting, and I don't like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Stop.
it could. Hey, it could just be a really smart move on
Maybe.
Simu Liu's part. Whereas he's trying to flirt, and then it brings the price down like a couple $100,000.
You know what his budget
and then like
was?
the worst case scenario is he has to go to dinner for like once or twice and be like, nah, sorry, this isn't working. But he got like $200,000 knocked off his apartment or his house. Like it could be a smart move.
His budget is $8,000 to $10,000. Sorry, million.
I was gonna say my budget would be $8,000 to $10,000, but
Yeah. 8 to
hey,
10,000. No, 8 to
hey,
10 million.
that's that Disney check,
Yeah.
weighing down his pockets, man. That's that Disney check.
And
Yeah. Good on him,
he's
though.
looking
Good
at
on
a
him.
FaZe clan house right now. It's a gamer's house, which
Oh,
is
yeah, okay.
so nice. And I had to track down which
They are
gamer it
those.
was.
I was gonna say those houses are bonkers. Some of those
Yeah.
gaming clan houses and whatnot that they've had. They're
Insane.
absolutely off the chops.
Yeah, so nice. I would love that house. Anyways, that's what I've been up to.
I'll take anything.
We've got quite a
That's what
beefy episode, by the way, so we probably
Oh,
should
we got a beefy episode.
skedaddle.
Yeah. When was the last time it feels like only a month ago that we had an episode like this where there was just a ton of
New
games announced
stuff.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the Gamescom
Yeah, mid this
announcement,
year.
like
I
I feel
reckon.
like was only a couple of months back now. It's absolutely nonstop. Before we jump into that though, Jens, specifically the Game Awards stuff, I want to talk about this because this is kind of interesting.
This is cool.
This is cool. Sony is releasing PS5 faceplates. So for those that are unaware, the PlayStation 5, the only PlayStation 5 that anyone can buy at the moment, if you are lucky enough to buy one, is white. It's a pearly white console, with some black trim. So it's quite a striking design choice. It's sort of not like any console we've ever seen before. In the past, like 10, 15 years, I think almost all consoles, besides maybe a couple of special edition like Nintendo DSs and handhelds and whatnot, have been black.
Yeah.
Nothing but black. Pure matte black.
The unified gaming color.
Yeah, exactly. And so when this was announced, like when the PS5 was announced a couple of years back, people were like, holy shit, this is bonkers. Like, how am I going to decorate around this console? Which I kind of understand because it is quite a striking design.
It is. And I think that's why it looks so alien-like. It just...
Yeah.
It's so different. Like, it has black on it, but like...
But it's very little
very different
compared to the white. Like, so much to fans' sort of, hype and excitement, Sony is releasing these faceplates, which basically you can just change the color of your exterior, the exterior color of your PlayStation 5, sorry. So at the moment, you can only purchase them through Sony up until like the start of next year. So beginning, I think it was on the 8th of January, they'll start to be sold at normal retailers and whatnot around the country. But at the moment, I think you can only purchase them directly from Sony if you want them like right now. But these colors that Sony's releasing are going to be a black, so just your typical normal black that will match the rest of the PlayStation 5. That really like maroon sort of
Like a deep
like
red.
deep red.
Crimson.
It's not a red. They call it crimson red, yeah. This sort of pink. It's not like a hot pink, but it's sort of like a muted medium level pink. This lovely blue, which I actually kind of like.
Yeah, you're going
not
for the blue.
I'm a fan of the blue. I think I'm gonna
Okay.
keep the white
Yeah,
PS5 shells,
yeah.
honestly, because I do kind of like it now. But if I was to pick one, I honestly feel like I go for the blue because it's
Okay.
quite nice. I do like a nice sky blue or electric blue, you know.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that sort of fits me quite well. And then they're doing like a deep purple, which is kind of nice as well. So
Yeah.
you got a couple of decisions. And they're going to be both for the normal PS5 with the disc and then the digital edition. So depending on what console you have, you got to obviously pick the right shell because
Mm-hmm.
if you buy the PS5 one for your digital edition, it's going to have a weird disc slot that's not going to
Yeah.
fit anywhere. So you got to get the right one. But yeah, and it's going to be, I think, Australian $85 for a facial
What?
for a set of facial.
Oh my god, I
$85.
just
I saw. I
realized
think on
it's
the
converted.
there were on the EV Games website. I was trolling. I think a couple of days ago, when these
Ooh.
were announced, they were up there for pre-order for like next year's shipment. And they were $85, which is kind of steep for some plastic. You know.
Yeah, it's not like special plastic either. It's like
No, it's not like it's got RGB. It's not like it has any like differing functionality, like extra fans to help cool it down. It's literally just a piece of plastic shell. So it's kind of steep, you know, which is one thing that people
yeah.
were kind of mad at Sony about was like, yay, you know, thank you for listening finally and like giving us options to like color our devices how we
Personalize
want
it.
them to
Yeah.
be. And sort of personalize it, yeah. But whoa, that price was kind of steep, you know.
Yeah.
Which I can understand, you know.
Just everything that's related to the PlayStation 5 is just so expensive.
Yeah.
Like games are expensive, controller is expensive, everything. It's just
It's an expensive hobby these days.
It is, yeah.
It's always
like,
been one of the most expensive hobbies, but more so these
GPUs now.
days. Like, yeah, I'm still after a moderately priced graphics card for my computer. I'm
Good
running
luck
still a
with that.
1080 or whatever. Which is, you know, it's still going fine. There are people in worse situations than I that are running like 970s or, you know, lower again. And they still run fine, and
Yeah.
mine still runs fine. But I would like the upgrade, you know.
Of course.
But yeah, it's becoming a very expensive hobby. I mean, like I said, I personally I'm not gonna upgrade my white face shell. I don't really feel the need for it. Are you gonna pick up one of these
Oh.
face shells for your PS5? No.
Nah. Although
I mean,
think
at the moment, I don't even look at my PS5. My PS5 is
that's
under
the
my
thing.
desk on a little like set of drawers or whatever. Like it's set up in there. Like I barely look at it.
Yeah.
You know. I'm also see the controller than anything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's what I look
same.
at.
I feel like you could
You know, so
easily paint yourself as well.
Yes.
I was just thinking
again, that's another thing.
or
That's
put
another thing I wanted to
stickers.
bring up. Is another thing I wanted to pick up on this was that Sony has been quite aggressive
Oh, yeah.
in tracking down other companies that are
Doing
they haven't
those
been making like
services.
the faceplate molds because they, you know, obviously the mold itself is a patented design and you
Yep.
can't make that without, you know, going through the right you know, facilities and all the legal jargon. But people have been making vinyls. Specifically, one probably the most popular brand that's doing it is D brand. And a little while ago, they got slapped with quite a nasty like cease and desist from Sony that was like, hey, you better stop producing these things and selling them right now. Otherwise, our scary lawyers are coming right for you. And obviously, you know, D brand being, I mean, they're not the smallest company, but being a company that is considerably smaller than Sony, I think smartly decided to stop selling the vinyls. But it's, yeah, I wanted to get, I don't know, like, I can understand why Sony is wanting to go after these companies for it, but it's also like, give the people an option to do so. Or maybe even license the vinyls through D brand, like set up a deal with them, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. Like I get it. It's their own intellectual property. They want
Exactly.
to control it,
They wanna
but they're
control it,
also
yeah,
such a
yeah.
big company that I feel like they have more than enough money to only
yeah.
dominate faceplates. So I don't know.
The thing is too, I feel like if I was to buy a vinyl skin
Yeah.
for my PlayStation 5, I 100% would fuck up the application without a doubt in my mind. Like I would have
It would
air
be
bubbles in
hard.
that thing. I would have like creases and
Yeah.
I would ruin it. I can guarantee you right now. So yeah, I feel like the smarter decision is to just buy a faceplate because they don't
It
have to
would
deal
be
with all that.
easiest, like
You
the
know, it's
easiest
just
way
easier
to.
because I've popped off my my faceplate to put on a little sticker under. I bought like a little OG
Oh,
PlayStation colored
yeah,
sticker
yeah.
to stick under the PlayStation logo on my PS5, and so I popped the faceplate off to do that. It was very simple to do, you know. You literally just like snap it and slide it.
Mm.
It's as simple as it comes. Um, but yeah,
I don't know.
very very interesting. It'd be interesting to see how many people do actually decide to pick up one of these faceplates, considering they are $85. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and who knows? You can assume they're probably going to go on sale at some point, you know, but I don't know. And I feel like too, if you've had a PS5 for this long, you're already quite like complacent with it being white, you know? I
Yeah.
don't feel like every time you turn it on, you're going to groan and be like, ugh, a white console.
Yeah.
Like you're that pressed about it being white and black rather than just black and black. So,
Yeah,
or
totally.
pink and black or
I
whatever
think,
color you want to decide to go for.
yeah,
You
I
know,
reckon people would probably go for the controllers, like the different colored
yeah.
controllers instead of
Yep.
the different colored
Yep.
faceplates. But
I feel like that's a much more functional decision,
I
you
think so
know,
too.
both financially and just like usability.
Yeah.
Like it's just But yeah. Anywho, students, do you want to jump onto our Game Awards news? Because just recently, I don't know if you guys heard, but we had the big Game Awards event was just this past week.
Yeah.
And alongside, like, you know, obviously being the Game Awards, all of the awards that were going on, there was a ton of new games that were announced and revealed at this event. Some kind of shockers, you know, like ones I was not expecting to be announced at all.
Yeah, totally.
At all. Like it took me back. But yeah, Jens, you want to jump into this because I know that you've done a lot of the research for this specific, so you're going to be the best one to go about it.
Sure. One of the maybe one of the biggest shockers was this announcement of Alan Wake 2. So from memory, there was no hint of an Alan Wake sequel.
I mean, I guess you could have, like,
you would have been hopeful.
Thought it was on the horizon, and you would. A lot of people were hopeful for it, but you could have thought it was on the horizon when just not too long ago they released the remaster for it. You know, that's usually a sign that something is on the horizon because there's no point to sort of just refresh the IP and you know
and leave it
sort
as
of re-release it again and just do it unless it is like a legacy game like maybe Silent Hills or something like that that's been out that hasn't been re-released since like the early 2000s. You know, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah, but it's very exciting. Because Alan Wake was such a great game. I didn't finish it, but I know a lot of people cherish that game. So I'm very excited about this new Alan Wake 2. And we don't know a whole lot about it. There is a trailer on it. It's very limited on what it showcases, but
I just watched it.
Yeah.
Literally just then. It's about 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's like nothing. But the creative director Sam Lake says the series will be moving on in a survival horror direction. So maybe like a Resident Evil type direction, you know?
It's gonna be Resident Evil, in a way, which is exciting because Resident Evil is kind of it's kind of in a class of its own. Like you have what was the Bethesda one?
You need to elaborate.
I forget. It's gonna bug the shit out of me now. Sorry, keep going. I'll try and think of it.
Okay. I don't know where I left off.
Survival horror. The Evil Within. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Resident Evil is like in a class of its own with like the Evil Within because they're both survival horror type things.
Yeah.
And then like all the other ones that are in that class are like they're not AAA games. So a lot of people sort of tend to forget about them.
Yeah,
it'd be cool to see another one slot in between those two. You know, like.
And I'm just trying to remember Alan Wake 1. I don't think there was any of that
I wouldn't call it survival horror. The
No.
first one. It
It was
was,
more
if
like,
anything, it was kind of a glorified walk 'em up
I
where
was
there
gonna
was some.
say,
It wasn't just a walk 'em up where you were sort of just walking around and things happen. You did have to do some things, like, you had your flashlight as your weapon to, like, shine the sort of enemies away and things, so there
yeah,
was combat in a sense, but yeah, I wouldn't call it survival horror.
yeah,
Some of it, split the difference between survival horror and a walk 'em up. That's
yeah.
what I would consider it, but yeah.
I don't believe there is a release date, so correct me if I'm wrong, could be wrong there, but I didn't see one. So yeah,
It
exciting.
just said 2023.
Okay.
That's all it said, so
Yeah.
2 years, that's when it's coming.
Okay.
Sometime then.
The
Yeah.
next one, I'm gonna try and go fast because we have quite a few to get through.
We got a few
This
to get
one
through,
is
yeah.
called Slitterhead. And it's a team led by the Silent Hill creator Keiichiro Toyama of Bokeh
Oh,
Games
yeah.
Studio. And they tease a very creepy game, which is called Slitterhead. And
That's
yeah,
that's that's a very confronting name,
it is a
I
very
might add.
confronting
That's
name if when you see the trailer. Um,
yeah.
the enemy types look very interesting, very spooky. It looks like a lot of blood. It
Mm.
doesn't look like the best graphics. I'm not sure if that's a style choice or I think it's a style choice. Just looks a bit dated if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I can kind of see that now watching the trailer.
You'll yeah, if you watch the
I
trailer,
mean,
you
I mean,
understand.
who knows? Like, it could
Oh
just
yeah,
be like, it's not gameplay or anything like that either. It's just like a trailer.
yeah,
So it could
exactly.
just be that they spent most of their money, focusing on the actual gameplay
Mm.
and like the environment in there rather than the trailer, because usually the trailers
Yeah,
are like done in a separate sort of engine more often than not, and whatnot. So
yeah. And the music in the game
um
seems really great, like a big part of it. So yeah,
yeah, I mean,
we'll
it's
keep an
very
eye out.
exciting for Silent Hill fans to see,
Oh,
like, I
absolutely.
guess, like, in some form a spiritual successor to the series,
Yeah.
because there was the ever rumored Silent Hills PT, which was somewhere along,
Mm.
on the horizon a little while ago, which was then unfortunately cancelled. There was a big fallout between Hideo Kojima and Konami, and like all that sort of shit happened. Um, so it's cool to see them sort of, I guess, continue on the legacy of the game in some way.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting too, because these sort of, these games that are inspired by Japanese horror are always off the chops, bonkers
I know.
crazy. Like, there's so much going on, and like when you brought up the character design too, that's one of the things I love the most about these Japanese horror games is their character design. They turn it up to 11.
Oh,
Like,
totally.
the stuff they come up with sometimes is absolutely off the chops. Um, so it's, yeah, that's really exciting. I'm quite excited for that.
I am excited to see
I've got
what they
my
come up with.
I've got my ear close to the ground for this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one is Wonder Woman is getting a game. So we know that the Justice
This
is it Justice League? Yeah,
took me
Justice League.
back.
Um, but yeah, Wonder Woman. There is nothing in this trailer except that you see the logo of Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
And her
yeah.
whip, but there is nothing. So the team behind Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor is behind this game, which is kind of exciting. I can kind of see that direction of
Yeah, because Wonder Woman does melee
style.
combat specifically and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, Shadow of Mordor and the Mordor games were very like boots on the ground. So,
Hmm.
like Wonder Woman can fly and jump and stuff like that too. So, be interesting to see how they work that into it.
Yeah. And because it's made by the people behind Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor, it'll also use
Mm.
the Nemesis system in Mordor.
Oh yeah.
Very, very cool system. Basically, if you come across
Yes.
a baddie and you don't finish that battle, so say you cut his arm off and he like walks away,
Yeah. Yeah.
the next time you see him, his arm will still be cut off. Like he will still have those battle scars.
Yeah.
He will remember who
And
you are.
he'll recall you and be like, "You did
Yeah.
this to me," and
He'll
like
shout
he'll
you
be a bit
out,
harder to battle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that whole
And they
system
even
is
went so far.
awesome.
They even went so far as to copy from memory to copy it over
Hmm.
from the first Shadow of Mordor game. From memory, I think some of the bosses were like put back into the second one, like the
Oh,
second Shadow of War game.
really?
And from memory, I could be very wrong,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
from memory, they would also recall what happened in the previous game. Like if you were to leave them alive and things like that, and they reappeared, they would
That's
still
kind of
recall that.
cool.
And I was like, that's so cool, man.
That's
Yeah, it
very,
is.
very cool.
I'd be interested to see if this Wonder Woman one sort of merges with the upcoming Batman the Batman Knights game or whatever it's called. You know the one I'm talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
Arkham Knights, that's the one. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
And also the upcoming Suicide Squad game.
yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if DC is starting to like do what Marvel / Insomniac are doing and like start creating like a video game superhero world, because it's kind of an untapped market at this stage. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like we have our superhero games, we have like the Batman Arkham series that came out a good couple of years ago now, but they were sort of their standalone thing on their own. There wasn't anything else that tied into it. And obviously we have the DC expanded universe and the MCU on the big screen. But no one's really seeming to focus on the video game side of it, which I feel is quite a large market to like shun.
Yeah,
Um, which I feel like it's real smart that Marvel and Insomniac are trying to hit that, you know, starting off with Spider-Man and then moving into Wolverine. Be
yeah.
interesting to see if DC and Warner Brothers Studios do the same here, you know?
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Because
Yeah.
like we said in the trailer, there's really nothing to be shown of.
There's nothing.
Um,
It doesn't even
and
have a speculated release date or anything
no,
like that either.
or which platform it's gonna be on. So it's very much like a very, very quick teaser trailer, but we'll just have to wait and see until one of the games comes out, and hopefully they'll nail this, because DC's having it a little rough sometimes, you know. So
Yeah, I get that. They're having a moment, you know.
I mean, the
I
Arkham
feel
games
like
are
their
great.
games. Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like their games are sort of like the best representation of DC at the moment currently.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
but look, you never know. There's still hope. We'll just wait.
Yeah.
Moving on, there is Star Wars Eclipse, which I know a lot of people are very excited about.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
beautiful. It's the people who made Detroit
Yeah.
Become Human, Quantic Dream, and so they're making
Yeah.
Star Wars Eclipse, which is based in the Star Wars universe and set during the High Republic era, and it's described as an intricately.
It's a mouthful.
Intricately.
I get it. Don't worry.
Branching action
Yeah.
adventure game that can be experienced in many ways and puts destinies of multiple playable characters in your hands, which is kind of exciting that you can control different storylines, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for those that haven't played Detroit Become Human or any of the other Quantic Dream games, they're very much akin, sorry, very much akin to the old like choose your own adventure books,
Yeah.
where you know there's multiple endings to this one story, and they all branch in different ways depending on the decisions you, the player, make throughout your journey.
Mhm.
And this is going to be crazy exciting to put into a Star Wars universe game. You know, like
I wonder
people
who you
love
can
and adore
control.
the Star Wars universe. And so being able to sort of, like, you know, control their outcome and like the legacy of those characters
Yeah.
is bonkers. One of the most exciting things that people are so excited for is the fact that it's set in the High Republic era, which for those that don't know, is set, you know, it was well before the Galactic Republic was sort of at its height. So the films that we've all watched and things like that, the not the original trilogy, but the ones that came out after it, the prequel trilogy. That's sort of the Galactic Republic era. This is well before that. You know, and it was considered the golden age of Jedi, who were significantly like a lot more active in this era. So you can expect there to be a lot of Jedi popping up in this
Very
in this
cool.
game. Who knows who it's going to be, but there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of Jedi or a lot of focus on Jedi in this game. Which is what people are frothing at, you know? They're
Yeah.
so excited for it.
And I just like that you can explore different time like storylines. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Because like as
Yeah.
much as it's great to explore one person's storyline, just to be able to see both sides and like, you know, go through that would be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
And look,
Sadly,
people are getting a bit sick of Luke Skywalker too. You know, like
you're gonna get a
man's
lot of
been in
hate.
fucking 95 different movies. So I mean, no, that's I love Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill's a great guy. You know, but and you can see that too with Disney and like Star Wars and Lucasfilms. They too are getting sick of it. You know, that's why they wrapped up sort of the Skywalker arc, as they're so calling it. With these like last three movies that came out, like they're now done with the Skywalkers. I think they said that I didn't think they're ever going to bring them back
Mm,
unless it's like little cameos and other things. Obviously, he was spoilers just in Mandalorian and whatnot. So you know, but they're done with
yeah,
that side of things. So
new era.
I feel like yeah, I feel like yeah, they're ready to explore the vast areas of the Star Wars universe, which is
Yeah.
exciting. You know,
No word on a release window or platforms yet. Keep an eye out.
no, yeah,
This one isn't a game, but Halo the series got another
based
trailer
on the
drop
game.
based on the game. And
Yeah.
that's the live action Halo TV show that's coming to Paramount Plus early next year. So we got a real look at what it might look like. And it
Yeah.
looks the production value and like the
I was
costumes.
gonna say it's got a big budget behind it by the looks of it,
Yeah.
you know.
I just
it's
hope they
kind of
do the
exciting. It's
story
good.
justice, I guess,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, Halo fans are notoriously picky. I feel
I
like when it
bet.
comes to, you know, the thing, understandably so. Like Master
Oh,
Chief
yeah.
in the past couple of years has sort of been hard done by. You know, obviously when he was moving around between Bungie and 343 industries and stuff. You know, some people, if you ask, they, you know, dropped the ball a little bit with Master Chief, but they seem to have picked it back up with Halo Infinite that just came
Infinite,
out just last week and then some. One of my mates has been absolutely loving it. He said
Oh,
he's been
good.
like, oh, it's so enjoyable. And I've heard the same thing from a lot of other people online too. So you know, it seems like Master Chief and the Halo name is on a real comeback path. They're
Yeah.
you know they're going hard at it. And it's going to be cool to see like a big budget Halo TV show come to fruition. You know, because I think
Yeah.
they've tried this in the past, and it didn't do too well. You know,
Right,
either
okay.
because the budget wasn't there or it just like the storytelling wasn't so good. I'm not the biggest Halo fan, so I didn't actually watch any of the other stuff that's come out, you know,
Yeah,
other
yeah.
than some of the games and whatnot. But you know, seeing this trailer, it kind of gets me interested in watching a little bit of it and seeing how it plays out. You know,
Yeah, I'd love to check it out. Sadly, it'll mean you have to buy a new subscription service, which is
yeah,
really
that's the
annoying.
one I was gonna say. Another one?
I
Come on,
know.
like
Paramount Plus coming out of nowhere. Like, stop. There's
can we
enough
fucking have?
slices.
Yeah, literally too much.
But yeah, that's coming early next year. Among Us is getting a VR version.
This is sus. This is
Very
sus.
sus.
No, yeah, this. I mean,
this
did we
has been
need
one.
this?
Well, there are people who have made a Among Us VR in like I don't know
That's
what
what I'm
software.
thinking. It
Um,
was what do you call it?
Fortnite,
The VR
Unreal.
talk. No, the VR talking
Oh,
game or
VR
whatever it's
chat.
called. Yeah, in VR chat you could literally play Among Us. Like someone made the map 1-to-1. You could walk around in it. You
Right.
could like it was interactive. It was all the whole thing. And that's what I mean. I was like, do we really need this?
Look,
People
there
have
is a lot
had
of
this
Among
for
Us in the world.
months now.
It's quite a lot. There are freaking Among Us
Yeah.
vending machines now. I don't like it.
Bro, it's crazy.
But the exciting thing is the studio who's making this is the studio that was behind I Expect You to Die, which is a VR game that I'm so interested in. So
I want to try that so bad.
I know,
As a
me
James
too.
Bond fanatic
Oh,
and like just a
yeah.
spy fanatic and things like that. Ever since I saw, I think it was James Willems that played this when
Yes,
when I
yeah.
watched Funhouse a little while ago. I think this is what turned me onto the game, and I was like, holy shit, this looks absolutely freaking epic. I want it
Right?
so
I
bad
really want to
because
try.
you know you can like it's not a James Bond game or it's not
No.
a game that's using any of the characters, but it does use some of the traps and things like that from some of the old school James Bond films.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, that's cool. I want that.
So yeah.
So yeah, I'm still having to get myself a VR headset, but this is one of the first
Mm.
things on the list when I do get one.
But yeah, it'd be really exciting, and it would be a new version, maybe, of Among Us.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah. It does
it'll
add a
be
new layer
different.
to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It'd be interesting to see just how many players go back to it, though. Like, I mean, because VR is kind of a
Right.
niche, or VR is already a niche sort of
It is,
subgenre
yeah.
of gaming. You know, a lot of people either have a PC or a console or both. But not a lot of people, not all people, I should say, sorry, that have a PC have access to a VR headset, or a
Mm.
PlayStation that have access to the PlayStation VR headset. Um, so, you know, it's already like quite a niche player base. And like Among Us has sort of risen and fallen already, you
Yeah.
know. Um, so I don't know if it's going to be worthwhile to them to sort of develop this and then have maybe 500 players come back for a week or two and they'll be like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't know what it's gonna be like
yeah.
then. I
It is
feel
cool
like,
that they're still branching out and they're
yeah,
able to
absolutely.
branch out the Among Us sort of franchise and keep going with it. You know, it is very exciting for them because they are an indie studio. So you know, I wish them all the praise in the world. Um, but yeah, kind of cool to see that.
No word on a release date, but it's coming to MetaQuest. What MetaQuest is, I guess, different.
MetaQuest, it's Facebook's
Oh.
new name. Remember they changed it to Meta?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When I read this as I was having lunch, I had to do a double take. I was like, are they calling it MetaQuest now? But yeah, I guess they are.
Far
So
out.
instead of Facebook Quest or like the Oculus, the Quest 2 and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's now MetaQuest. So if you read that anywhere or hear that anywhere,
What a pretentious
that's what it is.
name. PlayStation
Oh,
VR
honestly.
and Steam VR headsets. So
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this one. I
couldn't tell by all the exclamation marks that's on the sheet here.
I linked
but,
the trailer.
yeah,
It is
I think she's excited.
It is 6 minutes long, but
Jeez.
please
That's not a
just
trailer,
watch
that's an
the
episode.
intro. Just when the music drops. Oh. So
That's an episode.
Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga, got a big old 6-minute trailer drop in where it showcases, like, pretty much shows you how much bigger the game will be in like from the world to the like the characters, the monsters that you are gonna meet, and just that music that you remember from the first game just punches you in the face. Oh, it's so good, and the graphics look amazing, and I'm so excited. But the sad news is that it's probably not going to be ready until 2023, and I'm so sad because I've wanted this game for so long. I'm still like, you haven't played the first one, right?
No, I haven't played the first one. It didn't really seem up my alley. I have seen, like, obviously, I've seen your gameplay of it when you did it on Twitch and things like that, and I've seen other people playing it on YouTube in the past and things like that, but no, I haven't tried it yet. It is on Games Pass, though, so I very well could give it a go.
I think you and Emma might like it together.
Yeah. I mean, Emma has been looking for another single-player game to sort of sit through and...
She might like it.
You know, give it a go and stuff
like
that.
Might connect more
I might
to
have to suggest it to her.
Yeah. Please do.
Do we know... For the new one, obviously, I forget what the mental illness that Senua was suffering from. Was it? It wasn't schizophrenia, was it?
I want to say schizophrenia, but I don't think it is, and I'm not gonna guess to be insensitive.
I no, yeah. That's why I don't want to say anything to sort of offend anyone. Do you know if they've announced anything? Because I think I saw or I heard when they released when they announced Hellblade 2, that they were going to be focusing on like a different mental illness. I think. And do we know if that's been announced yet? Because I couldn't see anything in the description of the YouTube video.
Usually they don't like pinpoint
or at least it's
it.
not obvious.
Yeah, they don't make it very obvious. Kind of be.
I mean, look, I don't want to say exciting, but it would kind of be, you know, exciting or interesting to see like them not announced anything of what it is, you know, and let players experience it first, and then after 2 weeks be like, okay, this is what we were aiming for Senua to be experiencing and the player to be experiencing.
Right.
I feel like that would be a lot more impactful than being like, she's going to suffer from depression or, you know, and then like, because you sort of already expect that going in now and you'd be like, oh, this is going to be a sad game. It'd kind of be a bit more interesting and a bit like heavier hitting for the storytelling side of things. If the player went in blind and was like, holy shit, this is what it actually feels like, you know, like it would, I feel like that would be quite impressive.
But yeah,
But yeah, I
I'm
guess they
so
still got
excited.
time. If it's coming out 2023 sometime, or beyond, this even says,
Yeah,
who knows? Like, it could go a little bit longer than that.
I know. Let's not.
Um, yeah, knock on wood, you know.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I
Yeah.
highly recommend watching the trailer. It is, and playing the first one. It's on Game Pass. It's just it's a sleeper, that
I don't
one.
think it's I don't think it's that long either. I think it's like a couple of hours, maybe,
You can
if
maybe
that.
push through
It's
it
not
a day or
like,
two.
yeah, it's not like it's a 2 week long slog or anything like that.
Yeah,
Also I've heard, you know.
yeah.
But
But yeah, I would recommend highly.
yeah. Okay.
Dune is getting a game. Dune Spicewars. Apparently, Dune had games. I didn't know of this, but they had
Yeah, there
RTS games
was
back in the day.
an old school RTS game. Like old
Yeah, yeah,
school,
yeah.
you know.
Very, very old school.
Um yeah, so it's cool to see them sort of rehash it and bring it back a little bit for the modern age, and obviously
Yeah,
this new
especially with the release
Dune
of Dune.
revival
Yeah.
that they're having, you know, yeah.
So I think it'll
Um
hopefully do good for them. But it basically looks
yeah, yeah.
like your typical
It's an
RTS,
RTS.
but in the
It's
Dune
an
world.
RTS. There's nothing else to say, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So if you love
I
Dune,
do
you
want to
love
say
that
though,
environment, then this will be up your
did they
alley.
shoot this? Did they shoot this trailer in IMAX or something? This resolution is so weird
Really? Oh, it makes
on
it
YouTube. Yeah,
stretched, right? Like long? Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know
This
why.
is like a 2 by 1.
Yeah.
This is like a 2 by 1 resolution. This is super
It's like a
weird. It's
rectangle.
like it's in ultra wide. It's like it's in ultra wide, but not
Yeah.
on my monitor. You know,
Maybe the editor
that
was
is
in ultra wide
bizarre.
monitor.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, Dune, like from what I've heard, Dune is quite an artsy and very
It
like
is.
cinematographic, you know, film and whatnot. Probably the same guy that was like, you know what? Let's spice up the trailers a little bit and make it a bit more artsy and a bit
I
more
mean, look, it caught
like,
my
you know.
eye.
Yeah, that's it. That was the first thing I noticed when I loaded it up. So it's working, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is set to launch an early access in 2022 on PC. So look out if you want to get on that early access. This one's kind of exciting. Cuphead DLC, the delicious last course.
Should I be
You
pumping
should.
my fist? Like,
Yeah.
because this game makes me want to cry, but it's also like
But it's
very
good
exciting because I
cry.
love this game. But like, yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, Cuphead is getting an expansion, and it's got like new worlds to it. There was like a cowboy one, a Antarctic one, like
Yeah,
just all these things adding to the already amazing Cuphead world.
I
That
think this has been a long time coming
it
too.
has been.
Yeah, I think they announced this a little while ago. And then obviously, you know, COVID hit and
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff happened. But it's
But
is it
yeah.
in this trailer? It's all like puppeted. Is that going to be the style? No, it's not. Never
No,
mind.
no,
I lied
no.
to
It's
myself.
just the
It'd
way
be
they've
kind of cool
shot
if it
it.
was though. Yeah, I was gonna say this would be really cool if they did it in this style.
The trailer is really cool. It is a cool trailer, the way
Yeah,
they showcase it with the puppetry.
and just I want to bring it up.
Yep.
Still very excited for the Cuphead cartoon that's coming to Netflix sometime next year.
Yes.
Off the top of my head, if I recall correctly,
Oh
I
man,
think
now
it
I
was
want to listen to
2022.
Cuphead music.
Yeah, the soundtrack. Ugh,
So good. One of the best.
great. Yeah, yeah. The revival of Cuphead. You know, I'm
Mm,
here for it.
absolutely.
I'm
So
here
we're
for
gonna
it.
have to do some videos
Yeah,
on this.
we're
And
gonna have
finish
to
the
keep
first
going
one
again.
actually.
Yeah,
Right. This will be
yeah.
available June 30th, 2022 on all platforms that Cuphead is on. So
This
yeah.
is the first actual release date we've read in this entire list. I think
I
it
know.
is. Yeah,
Like
wow,
a set
that's
release
crazy.
date. Out of nowhere, PUBG is now free to play. So get on your mobile, kids.
I, are you burnt by this a bit, Jens? Because like you've purchased PUBG in the past, I've purchased PUBG in the past, and millions of other players have purchased PUBG in the past. Is it kind of slack to be like, yeah, we're free to play now?
I get
Like,
it. I get why they want to be free to
yeah,
play, but I'm also like, damn, I spent
yeah, for sure.
money on you.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
look,
If only I waited 4 years. Damn it.
yeah. I totally understand why it's going to be free to play. I am
Yeah.
curious on what they're going to do in terms of microtransactions for the game, probably cosmetic stuff.
Well, I mean, the past couple of months now, or
Yeah.
like maybe the past year, they've had a battle pass in the game
Oh, okay.
too.
Well, there you go.
So you've already got to purchase the game, and then you got to purchase a battle pass in the
Yeah.
game. So they'll probably just keep that formula, I guess. You know, the very popular formula these days.
Mm.
You know, and yeah, like Jen said, I understand why they went free to play. They've got to compete with all the other free battle royale games out there.
Yeah.
You know, the giant Fortnite that's still ever so popular.
Yeah.
Apex Legends, which is still quite popular as well. Call of Duty Warzone, the Pacific, or whatever
Yeah,
the
all
new update's
that.
called. Like that's still free to play. There's so many options out there for people that want to play battle royale games to get them for free.
Mm.
That yeah, and like PUBG's been struggling with play bases for the past couple of years now. You
Yeah.
know, turning off and then turning back on and then turning back off again. Australian servers and other servers around the world, just because there's no players actually using them, and yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe I don't know if it's too little, too late for PUBG. I feel like people are already comfortable enough in these other games to be like, okay, this is where I'm planting my battle royale flag and where I'm
Mm.
sitting. But you know, I guess there's no
It's
harm in
worth a
trying.
try. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And hopefully PUBG can sort of get back to where it once was. You know, towards the
Yeah.
top there.
Totally.
Yeah.
Speaking of a comeback, we're kind of getting a Telltale game. Do you know how?
Yeah, I saw this. Like, I think I was at work or I was sleeping
yeah.
or something like that when the Game Awards were going on, and so I woke up and checked Twitter, and I saw a bunch of people talking about Telltale, and I was
Mm.
like, didn't we cover them shutting down like
Yeah,
a
they
year
they
ago or
basically
something now?
shut
Like,
Telltale
I was yeah. I was like,
thing.
did I miss something? Is something going on? Like, what is?
I know, but they're making
Yeah.
a game. So the people who were from the developer of Telltale are making
Yeah.
a game for Star Trek, and it's called Resurgence. So another sci-fi little thing.
Yeah. Okay.
The studio says it will tell an all-new story set not long after the events of the Next Generation, whatever that means. I am not a Star Trek fan.
I'm sure it's a Star Trek thing. Yep.
Yeah. It's due to launch next spring on Xbox, PlayStation, and Epic Games Store. We're getting a Telltale.
That's kind of exciting. Yeah. I mean, people always love the Telltale games, especially like the Walking Dead ones at the start when they first came out. They were sort of groundbreaking. People absolutely adored them. And then it was quite sad to see them sort of slowly fall off.
It was
and
sad
then,
to
you
see
know,
them go.
Practically cease to exist. You know, because they got some big IPs, you know, starting off with The Walking Dead, and then they eventually got like the Borderlands IP.
Thrones,
they got like the Batman IP. They got Game of Thrones. They got some huge IPs to tell stories with.
Yeah.
So you know, they were very much up there at some of like, you know, the biggest studios for like narrative focused games, I guess. So it's cool to see them sort of slowly trying to crawl back again as well. You know?
Hopefully
It's
it'll
both
be
a
a good
resurgence
one.
for Telltale and also Star Trek, because Star Trek's also been on a big resurgence path these past couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, there's been new series out, there's been like new movies announced, there's been like, you know, new comics and stories and stuff like that. Like, they're going on a big comeback. So that's cool.
Good time to be a Star Trek fan.
Yeah, I guess.
The next one. Got two more. Don't worry. I was gonna say chat.
Oh my God,
Listener.
I'm running out of breath.
Thirsty Suitors. This game is gonna be published under the beautiful Annapurna. We all love.
What, Jen's favorite studio?
Yep. And so the people who developed Falcon Age, Outer Loop Games, is releasing a new game that is described as a narrative action adventure game that grapples with themes of complex family dynamics, navigating difficult relationships, and discovering one's true self. So basically life. It's a narrative action game about life. And
life and family and
just living, general living. And it's got
existence.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's got some strong Scott Pilgrim vibes with it, where you basically fight your exes.
I was gonna say, this has got some style to it.
Yeah,
like, this
the trailer's great.
It is. And the
voice
style,
acting's really
got
good
pizzazz,
too.
It's got
colorful, like
this
just
is cool.
So much.
Yeah, it looks like a comic book if it was
Yeah,
like made live action, like because there's all the big
totally.
like kapow and like the
Yeah,
things like with
yeah,
big
yeah.
banners around them and like
Just
the
really
big quick
poppy,
zoom
you
ins
know?
and like it just it looks very much like what a comic book would look like if you brought it to life,
Yeah. And I think you will like
which is
this
it's kind of cool.
as well because it has some Tony Hawk style skateboarding incorporated to the game.
Oh hell yeah,
So very cool.
hell
Probably
yeah,
gonna be indie. But yeah,
yep,
basically
yep,
discovering relationships, maybe your sexuality in the game. I don't know, but just really interesting
yeah.
topics that not, it's not fantasy
That
topics.
aren't
It's like
explored.
really
Yeah, they're
real
not explored a
topics.
lot either.
I think that's why I love
Yeah,
Hellblade, even though it is like a Norse like mythical type universe. I feel like they still
I mean,
engage in real
yeah,
deep
and
topics.
I think I talked about that when we last talked about Hellblade and sort of
Yeah.
its impact and whatnot, where it's like yeah, it is still using the guise of like Norse mythology and all of that to gamify it, I guess, in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. But it's still telling a very real and very heartbreaking and
Yeah,
very
very
like
dark
true to life
story.
story, you know. And I feel like that. I think my main point of when I brought it up last time was that it's a good way to get it in the hands of gamers,
Yep.
because people might not know what Hellblade is, and they might pick it up because they're like, oh, cool, it's Norse. Like I
Yeah.
enjoyed that most recent Assassin's Creed game. I want to check out some other Norse games and sort of expand my Norse mythology. Like I really like God of War. Maybe I'll try this one. And they sit down to play it, and they're like, wait a minute, this is teaching me something about
Yeah.
myself. Like I'm learning, like, and I feel like it's a really good way to get that into people, specifically younger gamers too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's yeah, a lot of the teachings these days in schools, I think they're trying to gamify things as best they can because it's hard to grasp the attention of the
Mm-hmm.
younger generation just because they're so exposed to such a fast moving world with technology and streaming and video
And
games and
TikTok.
just everything accessible at one click. It's hard to sort
Yeah.
of grab their attention. So I feel like hiding learnings in these sort of things and teaching players along these sort of ways is a real
Mm.
smart way to do it.
Yeah, totally right. And like, I think that's why I love
Yeah.
games that try and do that, try and connect you, try and make you feel something,
Yeah.
explore different things. I love when they do that. So I really hope they do
Yeah.
this well, like you can make it a bit
Yeah.
too cheesy. So I hope they do it really well, and I hope
Yeah.
people respond to it well as well.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
I
it
think
seems like this one seems like it's sort of along the lines I would describe it along the lines of what was that story game? There's two of them now. Um where you play as the girls. How am I blanking on so many games in such a short amount of time?
you need to
Oh,
talk
I
about it
don't know.
more.
It'll come back to me.
Okay, fine.
It'll come back to
All
me.
right. Um, I was just gonna say one more thing. Now I forgot. Yeah, I don't know. It's gone.
I don't know. Oh,
Um.
you know what I'm thinking of?
mm.
Life is Strange. It
Oh,
seems
yep,
similar to
yep,
Life
yep.
is Strange, where like Life is Strange is doing the same thing. They're telling a very real story, a very personal story, and things like that. And they're doing it with a style too. Not as much
Yeah,
of a style, maybe as Thirsty Suitors, but still, sort of in a realm of its own. I feel like if people enjoy Life is Strange, they're gonna
I think
sort
they'll
of
like
vibe with
this.
this too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah. No idea when it's gonna be coming out. Just says coming soon. And it'll be for PC.
mm.
So look out for that.
Okay, yeah,
And the
cool.
last one that I want to cover is this adorable, adorable game that you play as like this little fox. I love the art style.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that bird game, the something doors game.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, kind of looks Death's Doors. It kind of looks
Yep.
almost mobile-y as well at times, but it's basically a really cute Zelda-like game where you play this little like fox with a sword, and I guess you just traverse the world, fight bosses, and
Yeah, I'm sure there's a story or something to
yeah,
drag you along the way. I feel like I saw this on the Steam like the demo page not too
oh
long ago when they
okay,
last did like that demo drop
yeah,
for their
Steam
gaming
Fest
events
or
and things
whatever.
like that. Yeah, I feel like I saw this on there, and I think I ended up installing it, but I just never got around to actually
Right.
playing it just because there was too much other stuff going on at the time.
Yeah.
So maybe before March 16th when they release this officially, there might be like another little demo that comes out,
Yeah.
or they might like put that demo back out again. So keep your eyes and ears peeled, because yeah, I feel like I recognize this from somewhere, and I think that's where I recognize it from.
Yeah. It looks very cute, so I'm curious about this. I
It
think
does,
it'll
yeah,
be a fun one. It says it's
yeah.
gonna come out for Xbox and PC, so I'm hoping that's also Game Pass.
Game Pass,
So
yeah.
yeah, we shall see.
One can expect it to be, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
But that is it. That is the wrap up of the Game Awards list of
Yeah.
games. That is a lot.
There was probably a bunch of other stuff that we missed
Oh,
as well, but there was
heaps,
sort of
yeah.
like the big ones or the, the most exciting ones to us at least. If there's anything that you guys are most excited about, either in that list or not in that list, be sure to let us know in the comments below because I'd like to hear your
Oh,
thoughts on what you're most excited about from the Game Awards. I do before we go on to our Hawkeye thing, though, Jens, I
yeah.
did want to bring up one little thing
Huh?
from the Game Awards, which could be considered controversial.
Oh,
It's not my opinion at all. It's opinions that I've seen of others on the internet.
okay.
But for those of you that don't know, the game that won Game of the Year was It Takes Two,
Yeah.
right? Which for those again that don't know is a story about these two adults that have a child that are divorcing, like they're separating. And this magical book comes along and shrinks them down to these little like wooden toys.
Yeah.
And you go on a journey to sort of rebuild your marriage together.
Yeah, the book's trying to
And I
help
guess,
you rebuild
for
your
the
marriage.
yeah, yeah, for the sake of the child, I guess.
Yep.
And I did see a couple of people online, Chance, and I'm gonna get your thoughts on this because it is kind of a sticky topic in a sense. But a lot of people are unhappy that it won Game of the Year because it, to them, in their opinion, and I saw this a couple of times. This is not just from like one or two picky people that I
Okay.
saw. I did
Okay.
see this a couple of times. But in their opinion, it was glorifying like unhealthy relationships in a sense.
Right.
Because I guess there is a stigma around, parents that are divorcing,
There is.
sticking together for the sake of the child, like
Yeah.
basically making themselves unhappy just because you have a child and I guess there's a stigma around that. And they were
That's
kind of
interesting.
unhappy in a way that this won because, you could say that it is glorifying that, you know, that point of view, I guess. Which I can understand, I get where they're coming from. I can kind of see their reasoning for it.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, I feel like in the case of It Takes Two, I feel like what they were actually doing was rediscovering why they love each other and not so
Yeah.
much just sticking together for the kid, if that makes sense. They weren't
Yeah.
just doing it for the sake of the child. I feel like they were going on this journey to rediscover just how much they do love one another. Which is I kind of think where it separates it from that like opinion. Um And I don't know. I just wanted to get your thoughts and sort of talk about it a little bit because I did see it and I was like, that's kind of interesting. I never thought of that when I was playing
Mm.
through it,
Yeah, that's funny. I never made
as to what
that
that else could be.
connection
Yeah,
either. But
yeah,
I also agree that I don't think this is my opinion. Don't take
yeah,
take it lightly.
yeah,
But I don't think that the game was trying to like you said, they weren't staying together and unhappy with the kid. They were rediscovering their love for each other, like
yeah,
throughout the
yeah.
events that
I mean, again,
happened.
that's just what I got out of it too. Like it's the
Yeah.
same as like when you're reading a book or watching a movie. You can sort of take different things away from it and stuff like that. That's sort of I guess what I was taking away from it and what I
Yeah.
experienced.
And I think the beauty of the game It Takes Two, and like I didn't finish it. We haven't finished it, so I don't know what the
Yeah,
ending's
no,
like.
no, no, no.
But the beauty of the game
Yeah,
is the puzzles that you go on to, the world that you discover, and like just like the
yeah,
slow realization of the couple getting along better, like communicating better
yeah,
maybe. So
yeah,
that was like a very
yeah.
small part of it. I feel like the bigger part of the game is the game mechanics. Like this is probably the best co-op in a
Yeah. I mean
very long
that's the
time.
thing too. It's not that the game won like story of the year or
Yeah.
narrative of the year or something like that. I think Guardians of the Galaxy ended up winning that. So winning game of the year is probably for a combination of a
Yeah.
multitude of things, like, the graphics being great, the storytelling being great, the gameplay being fun and engaging, the
The
use of
music, the
a now,
ideas.
like, yeah, the use of a now, I guess, redundant form of gaming, which is couch co-op. Not a lot of
Yeah.
games come out these days with co-op, like, as the main focus of the game. So,
But also it's
it's
just
probably a combination
nice.
of all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the number of times Baja and I want to play a couch co-op game and you just can't find very good
You
ones
just
now.
can't. No.
So
You've
ever
got
since
you've got Cuphead, which is excruciatingly hard,
yeah, that's not a
or a couple
relaxing
of other
game.
smaller ones, and then you got this, which is, doing something completely different again. So,
Exactly, where you're working
yeah.
together, you have a split screen, someone, it just I think they did so well with how they made that game that I feel
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
don't see the negativity between the two in that way of portraying
Yeah, no,
an
no.
unhealthy relationship and being like you need to suffer. Like they were going to split. They
Yeah.
said they were fighting to go and split.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I totally understand where other people are coming from. Maybe
Yeah.
like it is
Yeah.
more heightened through their eyes, but it's not heightened in mine.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like I said too, people take away different things from different forms of
Yeah.
media. You show 50 people the same film and you ask them what they thought of it at the end, you're probably going to get 6 or 7 different answers,
Yeah, totally.
as to what they thought the overarching story was. So it's, yeah, everyone sort of takes away different things from things, which is also the joy of these forms of media,
Mm-hmm.
like it's not just a one thing fits all. People take away different things from everything.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, that's all we wanted to talk about for the games, the game awards that were just this past week. Now, Jens,
Yes.
Hawkeye episode 4. If you guys haven't seen Hawkeye episode 4, I would strongly suggest you stop listening now because this is kind of a big episode. But I guess we live in a free world. If you guys want to spoil it for yourselves, you're more than welcome to listen. Um, Jens, I know how excited you were about this episode.
Yeah, I
Um,
messaged instantly after this.
yeah, yeah. What were your thoughts?
This one made me very excited because of you know who.
Yeah, one specific character.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the return of Yelena.
I'm so happy to see
I mean,
her.
it's yeah.
Did
Can you
you
call her a
expect
return
it?
when she's only been gone for like a couple of months? I mean,
Look,
I
I missed her.
expected it. I knew she was going to
Oh, you
appear
did?
at
Okay.
some point. If you watch Black Widow, if you've seen the Black Widow film, if you haven't, I strongly suggest you watch that film because it is a sleeper. Like it
Oh,
is a
it's
very good
great.
movie.
Please
Um,
watch it. It's
but
funny.
yeah, the
It's
post credit
sad.
scene,
Oh,
it's got it all. It's got it all. Um, but yeah, obviously, if you stick around for the post credit scene of Black Widow, you'll notice that Yelena went to visit Natasha's gravesite, sort of just I guess to pay her respects or whatever.
mm-hmm.
And she gets approached by this mysterious lady who gives her a photo of Hawkeye and is like, "This is your next mission. This is your target." And so one can expect, what's Hawkeye going to be in next? Obviously, his own TV show. Yelena's
Yeah.
going to pop up at some point.
Like I was hoping,
Um,
but I didn't think.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, no. So very exciting. She did actually make her appearance right
Yeah.
at the end. Unfortunately, we only got to see her for about
Yeah.
4 minutes, if that. She had no lines. She basically just fought everyone and then was like, "All right,
Fought like a
peace out."
badass.
Yeah. I like her red wrist gauntlet things or whatever. They're
Yeah.
not like the blue that
Very
Black
cool.
Widow had. They're like this red, which is kind of badass. The mask. What do you think of the mask?
I don't remember it.
I'm not a fan of it. It was like the black
No?
sort of balaclava with like the green night vision goggles on it, but I'm not a fan. It doesn't scream like cool
Black Widow.
like superhero outfit Black Widow assassin. Yeah, to me it screams like Sam Fisher like Splinter Cell agent,
Yeah. I
Like
wonder if they did it to be on purpose of like to make it more subtle that it people
yeah.
didn't really
I
guess.
feel like it's her
Her
I feel like it's
OG.
her like traditional comic book outfit
Yeah.
from memory. Like obviously the black
They
cat
usually
suit
do
from
that.
like, being in the Black Widow like get up, but the mask I'm not too sure I don't know if it is. Yeah, okay. So in some of the images I'm looking at now, she does have a like a black mask on with like green eyes and green
Okay,
lights.
so it is so traditional then.
I guess it is to be a reference to her traditional outfit, which I can kind of understand a bit more, but still, I don't know. It just looked a bit weird, to me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Uh,
But no,
there
I
was
loved it. This episode was great.
Yeah, there was more use of
Unfortunately.
special fun areas, which was cool.
Yes. And
Unfortunately,
we got to see. What do you mean?
you said unfortunately.
I was gonna say, yeah. Unfortunately, no Wilson Fisk just yet.
Oh,
Still waiting on the big man in the suit. I'm still holding out hope. I expect him to be in the season. If not, Kevin Feige can expect a very angry email in his inbox for misleading me. But yeah, I'm very adamant that he will appear at some point. So nothing like that yet, but we did get a little bit more backstory on Echo. And we actually got to see a little bit of her apartment too.
Yeah.
And we can see that she's actually tracking down Hawkeye's kids, or she knows at
Yes.
least of Hawkeye's kids, which is kind of terrifying,
Yeah, it is scary.
Kind of scary.
I did really like this because it was mostly about Hawkeye and the girl in this episode. Like,
Yes.
we got to know them and their relationship a bit more. I think that helped me connect with the girl a little bit more. I was struggling there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kate
Yeah,
Bishop
I'm
is her name,
excited.
by the way.
Thanks.
I like the girl, but yeah.
Look, my brain, I don't like her yet, so my
There's-
brain's not.
Too many. Look, I understand. There's way too many characters to remember at any given time in the MCU. Like, especially when it's so fast moving and progressing. Like, it's
When I was watching Game of Thrones, I did not remember anyone.
honestly, one of the main reasons why I gave up with Game of Thrones was
fair.
just because the names in the different families, they all sound similar.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there scratching my head like, wait, didn't he just like die or something? And like, no. It's just pronounced ever so slightly differently. And I'm like, oh, sorry, my bad.
There's just too many people.
Yeah, that was one of the things. It was just, I don't know, my small peanut brain probably couldn't keep up. But,
Well, good luck with the book of Dune then.
Yeah, I have started reading it a little bit, and so far so good.
Okay.
So far so good. I have managed to, like, it is a little bit heavy, you know, but I feel like as I get a little bit deeper into it, things will start to clear up and sort of, it'll go more into autopilot. Yeah. But yeah. But no, very excited, gents. It is now just over 4:30, so we're about 2 hours away from episode 5 being released. We should probably call it here so I can get this edited down
and then watch the show. Yeah.
And then exporting it so I can go and safely watch the show as soon as it comes out.
That sounds good because we're like at an hour 10 anyway, so we should leave you guys alone.
Right. Yep. Anyways,
sorry.
That's gonna be it from us for the week, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys, like I said, have any thoughts about the Game Awards, if you guys saw anything that you liked and want to talk about it, be sure to let us know down in the comments below. If you guys are excited for Hawkeye episode 5 or want to give your thoughts on any of the Hawkeye episodes, let us know down in the comments below because we're always sort of listening and watching. And
the Discord as well.
Or the Discord too. Yeah, come and join Genesis Discord. We always talk about stuff in Genesis Discord. Anything, in there, Hawkeye or gaming related. So
or correct us when we're wrong. That's where you always can do it.
Yeah, or correct us when we're wrong. Yeah. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.